everyone, welcome to GeoChemFoam channel. I'm Julien, the lead developer of GeoChemFoam, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to install it. We will install GeoChemFoam from its source code, and we also provide a precompiled Docker container, which you can find on our GitHub webpage in case you're a Docker user and you don't want to bother with installation. But today, we will use the source code and we're going to install GeoChemFoam 5.2. We will do this on Ubuntu 24.04 and we will use OpenFOAM 22.12, which is the version GeoChemFoam 5.2 was developed and tested with. Now you can use a different setup, a different version of Ubuntu, a different version of OpenFOAM, or a different version of GeoChemFoam, and the workflow should still work with minimal changes. If you do use a different setup and it works, or if it breaks, leave a comment on this video or post on our GeoChemFoam user wiki, link in the description, so we can continue improving our installation guides. Today, though, we will stick with this exact setup, and the installation follow 5 steps. Step 1, we will install the required Ubuntu Debian packages. These are packages like Python, Boost, or OpenMPI, which are necessary for OpenFOAM. Step 2, we will install the required Python libraries. And for this, we will use Anaconda. Step 3, we will install OpenFOAM using the precompiled binary from the OpenFOAM Debian repository. Step 4, we will clone the GeoChemFoam source code and compile it. Step 5, and final step, we will run a quick installation check. All right, let's do this. And we're starting from a clean Ubuntu install. First, we update the package list. This is to make sure that everything is ready and up to date for installation. And then we open the GeoChemFoam installation page on the wiki. So here's the GeoChemFoam GitHub page, user wiki here, and we select download and install GeoChemFoam from source code. And you see a list of instructions. And the first one is prerequisites with a list of packages that need to be installed. So I'm going to copy this into my terminal and install all those packages. This is going to take a few minutes. It's installing packages like Python, Boost, or OpenMPI, which are necessary for installing OpenFOAM and GeoChemFoam. Once that's finished, we move on to Python. And we recommend using Anaconda to keep everything clean and reproducible. So we download the installer using wget. So copying again this line into our terminal. This is downloading the installation file for Anaconda. And then we run the installer. Enter here. We have to accept the license term. And then the location, which I will keep as default. At the end, it asks whether you want Conda to initialize automatically in your shell. I'll answer yes here. It's the simplest workflow. If you answer no, that's totally fine. You just need to initialize Conda manually later. And when it's done, we will source the bash RC file to reload our shell configuration. And now we've started Conda. Next, we will create the GeoChemFoam Conda environment. So we can see here from the wiki, we can copy this line here. This is going to create our GeoChemFoam Conda environment. Just taking a few seconds here. We are saying yes to install all those default packages. and has been created, we can activate it by using Conda activate GeoChemFoam. So now we have created and activated the GeoChemFoam environment. Now we install the required Python packages. This is here. We have a list of requirements that are described in this file, which you will find in this link, in here requirement.txt. And you can download this file, but I find it easier to just copy it. And here in my shell, I will create a requirement.txt file and copy inside this file. And then we do pip install -r requirement text, and this will install all the necessary Python packages to run GeoChemFoam. Once that's done, we're ready for OpenFOAM. And we will go back to our instruction page. So we're here now. And we install OpenFOAM from the official Debian repository. So first we need to add the OpenFOAM repository. Here using curl, we will copy this into our terminal. And then we do sudo apt get updated to update the packages information. OpenFOAM, it looks like it's been done before, but there's no reason not to make this to be double sure. And now we can install OpenFOAM by using sudo apt get install OpenFOAM 2212, and here I'm installing the default version. Yes, and here it's installing OpenFOAM. That should only take a minute or two, and once OpenFOAM is installed, we can install GeoChemFoam. Let's go back to our instructions, and first let's create a working directory by doing mkdir works and cd works. We're going to install GeoChemFoam inside this directory. So for this, we're going to use git to clone GeoChemFoam 5.2. So copying this, and this is cloning GeoChemFoam in this work directory. And again, this should only take a few seconds. Once the download is complete, we open the GeoChemFoam -rc file, which is in there, GeoChemFoam 5.2 etc -rc. This file defines the key environment variables where OpenFOAM is, where GeoChemFoam lives, and where third-party libraries are located. If you follow the same steps as in this video, you shouldn't need to change anything. If you use a different OpenFOAM version or install it somewhere else, this is a place where you may need to adjust paths. So now we source this -rc file, and we are ready for all wmake, which will compile GeoChemFoam. This will take a few minutes. You'll likely see some warnings or informational messages during the build, especially related to third-party libraries, and that's normal. Once compilation is finished, we run the check install script. If everything compiled correctly, you should see installation successful. At that point, you're done. GeoChemFoam is ready to run. And that's it for installation. Thanks for watching. If you found it useful, I would really appreciate a like or a comment on this video. This will help it reach more users. Subscribe if you want more GeoChemFoam content, and feel free to visit our GeoChemFoam user wiki to ask questions or simply share setups. But until next time, keep it open, keep it reproducible, and happy modeling with GeoChemFoam.